Okay, how's everybody doing? There we go, and I'll just pause the music for me. Welcome, everyone. This might be loud. I hope not. I actually have a USB N64 controller for this. Not for this, but... Hey, beehole. So this is an Ace Attorney style Legend of Zelda ROM hack. Which means, I believe, I haven't seen any gameplay of this yet. I've just kind of read what it is. But it sounds like Link is an attorney. And it's basically, yeah, it's a Ace Attorney. But for The Legend of Zelda. So I wanted to see what this was going to be like. So let's see what we get here. Okay. This game autosaves after each scene. Okay, good. Autosave is good, but I'm hoping that I don't need to restart too many times. Do you think they forgot? Forget a royal visitation. No one could make such a blunder. Princess. Well, I guess I should just go in then. Oh, goodness. What happened here? So far, this is off to a great start. March 17th, 9:37 a.m. Hyrule Grand Court, defendant lobby number 3. Oh, court record. And history. Okay. This is going to get real. You'd think that after so many years of doing this, I'd be used to the stress. So, profiles. Okay. Okay. And then... Okay, good. I like this. Will Rufus gonna figure out the rules? Never. So why am I shaking? Gah. I guess it's a lot worse when it's your friend's life that's on the line. Come on, gotta look professional. She can't see you like this. Speaking of her, though, where is she anyway? Hey, you over there. Huh? What is it, attorney? The trial isn't starting yet. But it will be soon, right? Would you happen to know why my client isn't here yet? I didn't get to speak much with her when she was arrested, so... I was hoping I could at least exchange a word with her now. Okay. Wahaha! Oh. Oh, cool. Are one of you traveling, or do you guys just live that close? Wahaha. You weren't the only one with that, with the idea. I believe she is currently in the prosecutor's lobby. He wanted to talk to her as well. Hey, who's he? What? Oh, nice. What is up with this guy? He bars me from the crime scene, blocks my detention center visits, and now this? Not to worry. She will definitely be here before the trial. Oh, good. Great. That'll be a joyous 5 minutes indeed. Guy seems icy. But there's nothing I can do but wait. Sometime later. Okay, this is ridiculous. How much longer can he keep her? So, did he just depose my client without me being there? That sounds like illegal, but whatever. Ah, see, there she is. No need to get all worked up. Uh, is something wrong? Did I hear shouting? So much for looking professional. No, don't worry. Everything's fine. This is Malin. Ever since we met in Hyrule Castle Town all those years ago, we've been great friends. Her heart's in the right place. I know she cared deeply about her father. If everything's fine, why do you look so worried? Well, how did the investigation go? Did you find anything? I've read this fanfic. Yes, the investigation. I found tons of groundbreaking stuff. Particularly that my opponent's a real scumbag. What did the prosecutor want from you anyway? Well, it was mostly just threats. Oh. He kept explaining in detail what'll happen to me if I'm found guilty. I don't think he's allowed to do that. Doesn't sound like a vital discussion that needed to happen right before the trial. He probably just did that so he wouldn't have as much time to talk. You believe me, right? I didn't do it. I'd never. Oh, well, of course. Of course I believe you. You're my client. Although, I'll be honest, things aren't looking very good right now. Sigh. What's that you've got there? Oh, this is just a pictograph of father I carry around. Okay. Aw. I just can't believe he's gone. I wish I knew how to cheer her up right now. I'm not very good at handling emotional clients. Hey, you know, that pictograph could be really useful for the trial. Oh, how so? Well, you look so happy together. I can present it to show that you had a great relationship. So I wonder how many of those dings I don't remember already that we can go back through the court record, but you really think so? Oh, well, here you go then. At least I'll be walking in there with something other than my badge. But wait, we shouldn't just be idly chatting. Anyway, there's not much time left. I know it's hard to talk about, but could you tell me what actually happened? I don't stand much of a chance if I don't know your version of the story. I mean, that's fair. I understand. Unfortunately... Oh, God, no. Oh, okay, the court starts now. Uh-oh. Shouldn't have said that stuff about having no chance. All right. Everything will be fine. The prosecutor has been playing me a fool since since this began, but sooner or later his arrogance will be his undoing. Let's head inside. My name is Link. I've been a defense attorney for the last 7 years. Whoa. So wait. Does that mean, is this in the world where Link beats Ganon? Which of the timelines in Ocarina of Time spawns this to happen 7 years later? Is this the one where Link beats Ganon as a child and then after that he goes to university and passes the bar? Is that the timeline this is? Just to I've won my fair share of cases and lost some too, but this one is personal. There's so much at stake here. Not only do I have to save Malin's life, I've got to find out who did this to Talon. Talon, he was always so kind. He didn't deserve this. I need to do him justice. I can't lose this. I bet he can. I bet he can real bad. Oh, what? Ganondorf? Shit. I bet he's a better lawyer than me. Okay. Court is now in session for the trial of Malin of Lon Lon Ranch. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Wait, Dragmire? Okay, never mind. He's not Ganondorf, guys. He's Dragmire. I sincerely doubt that. Whatever were they thinking, pitting me against some pathetic kid? I'll have you know I'm adult Link, wearing a Goron tunic under my suit. Pathetic kid, what gives you the right to... Still your tongue. You bring shame upon the fine color of your hair, vile woman. Wow. I thought we were going to do this, like, professionally. I'd say he's a better lawyer. I mean, he's definitely a bigger asshole. Before long, the world shall know the horrible deeds you've committed. I'm back. My wife's going to work. Let us not prolong the inevitable. Shall we begin? Nope. Judge says nope, guys. He issued us a continuance because you apparently stole my client for months. And also you can't just insult the defendant. That's kind of not cool. But since the prosecution seems good, let's just start this shit. The opening statement shall also be the closing one. Wait, what? What? Whoa. Oh, damn. I kind of believe him now, too. Whoa. She did it. It's obvious. She killed her own father in cold blood. Also, she could have the ranch to herself. Couldn't wait for the old fool to die naturally, could you? You greedy little rat. Man! Oh. I did an objection. Your Honor, you can't allow this man to verbally abuse the defendant like this. Yeah. Good job, Link. Wait. Is this an Uno reverse? She committed murder? Oh my god. Well, no. Allegedly, Dragmire. She allegedly committed murder. Do I believe a little less commentary wouldn't go amiss? I do believe, sorry. I do believe a little less commentary wouldn't go amiss. Yeah. Bah. I assure you, old man. Wait. Does that ding mean that he got a point with the judge? For being mean to him? I assure you, old man, you will change your opinion once you see all of the damning evidence. Who is this guy, and how can he speak to the judge like that? Ganondorf Dragmire? Wait. Okay. Looks like I've been lucky to avoid meeting this man until now. The stories I've heard about him must be true. A boorish barbarian of a man hailing from the Gerudo province. Apparently he prides himself on the nearly clean streak he's cultivated for decades. Okay. All while disrespecting everyone in the court, including the judge. Yeah, he's a bit raised. Yeah. A little bit. I've even heard some attorneys refer to him as the King of Evil. Why do I just sit there with a derp face? Definitely really has that look. I'm sweating. At the very least, who wears full armor to court? Very well, please present your case to the court. You don't seem to like me talking, so I'll just let the detective present the basics. Bring Impa of the Sheikah Force. Oh, God. What did... The Sheikah Force investigated this? Okay. How am I going to make all their evidence look incompetent? Because, like, if we're being honest, everybody loved Talon. So, like, nobody would do this. So it would be just as likely that it'd be his daughter as anybody else, because everybody loved him. So maybe she did do it. I never got to hear her side of the story, and now I'm about to hear what the cops found. Also, Link is like, hey, I hope they made a mistake. I'm like, hey, I hope they did their job. All right, state your name and whatever it is you pretend. Whoa! Okay, whatever it is you pretend to do, Dragmire. Guy, you are aggro. You never change, do you, prosecutor? Any possible change would be for the worse. Now stop wasting time. Name and occupation. Oh, man. Very well. I am Impa, head detective of the Sheikah Force, Homicide Division. True for now, at least. What? So wait. Are the prosecution... Are the prosecution and the... and the law enforcement enemies here? Dragmire. Ganondorf Dragmire, you be nice to the people who are on your side. What are you waiting for? Start talking. You're the one assigned to this case, so you know all about it. What calamity has befallen our fair kingdom? Still can't be bothered to give a proper opening statement. I suppose I can do the prosecutor's job for him this time, for the sake of an unbiased look. Okay. Please go ahead, detective. The incident happened early yesterday morning. Wow! These people in Hyrule definitely have the right to a speedy trial. This happened yesterday. I haven't even got to see my client yet, and we're already being heard. And I don't think this is like probable cause. I think Malon goes to jail here if we fuck up. The incident happened early yesterday morning on Lon Lon Ranch, a local supplier of goods located just south of Castletown. The current owner of the homestead, Talon, was found dead in his ranch house. A tragic loss for our kingdom for sure. I have seen the man around Castletown a number of times delivering goods. Quite. The owner was a rather important figure in the local community. In any case, we were alerted to the scene of the murder by the Royal Guard, who were there on official business. Official business? What kind? As I understand, the ranch provides the kingdom with vital services. To ensure it is operating as it should, and as a gesture of appreciation, the Crown orders a visitation to the ranch every year. I see. A scheduled annual visit. Continue, detective. When the Sheikah Force arrived, they found the victim bleeding out on the floor. Next to him lay his daughter Malon, breathing but unresponsive. After a thorough investigation, we arrested her as she was deemed the only possible culprit. That about covers the gist of what happened. We walked in there. She was in the room. Even though she was unconscious, it must have been her. Ho ho. I don't think the good detective here has to worry much about that, given she is the head of the department. Which reminds me, why is the head of detectives herself on a case like this? Were the other detectives unavailable? That would be because I have been assigned to this case by the order of the King of Hyrule himself. The king himself assigned you. That doesn't happen very often, does it? You are correct, Your Honor. I'm not usually involved in field work like this. This time, however, the king felt it necessary because of who is involved. Who is involved? The death of a ranch worker really such a... Is the death of a ranch worker really such a concern for a king? Well, as I said, Lon Lon Ranch is a very important supplier of goods, to be sure. But that's not who I meant. I imagine the king wanted the top investigator on the job because it was the royal princess herself who discovered the crime scene. Wait. Order! I will have order! The royal princess Zelda witnessed the crime? And there you have it. This case rides on the princess's own words. To doubt it would be to doubt her own royalty. Wow! If the princess is testifying today, it's better we don't make her needlessly wait. Detective, please testify about exactly what why the defendant was arrested. The reasons for arrest. It is with regret that I agree with Dragmire. All the evidence points towards this girl being the culprit. We determined that the murder definitely took place inside the ranch house. There were only 3 people on the ranch: the victim, the defendant, and the worker who has an alibi for the time of the crime. The defendant was found unconscious right in front of the victim, who was bleeding out on the floor. Furthermore, she was holding a weapon without a doubt. That's what was used to kill the victim. She seemed like such a bright girl. It's most unfortunate. Your Honor, I would like to submit these pieces of evidence to the court. First, I have the autopsy report performed by the Crown's top coroner. Okay, autopsy added to the court record. Here's what we determined to be the murder weapon, which we took from the defendant's hands. A saw. To make sure we had the correct weapon, we conducted a very thorough investigation. Naturally, we searched everyone and thoroughly examined the ranch and its vicinity. Nothing unusual was found, but to be safe, we also checked the ranch's inventory list to see whether anything was missing. The list matches the items we found on the ranch exactly, and nothing but the saw had fresh blood on it. That does sound quite compelling. This must have been a truly terrifying scene. Dying from the wound made by the weapon like this is extremely painful. This only helps prove the defendant's viciousness. At this rate, they're going to paint Malin as some heartless monster. There's only one more thing I feel I should mention for the sake of completeness. Shortly after we arrived at the ranch, a courier showed up to take some milk shipments. Of course, business must go on. Is this really necessary to enter into evidence, though? The shipment did end up leaving the ranch, so I feel it bears mentioning. Were the contents checked before you let them go? Naturally, what do you take us for? Even though the worker handling the shipments did get quite worked up about it, we cracked all the boxes open to check what was inside. In the end, it turned out to only be milk bottles, so we let them through. Very well. Thank you for your thoroughness, Detective. Milk shipment. Okay. So what happens now? Well, this is where I step in and perform a cross-examination. Oh, great. How does that work? Huh? Could you explain? Yeah. Could you explain what you're going to be doing? Well, yeah, let's do the tutorial. The witness will repeat her testimony. I'll be able to scroll back and forth through the individual statements by pressing A and B with up and down. They'll just repeat as many times as you want. That's right. I have to consider every little detail. I can't miss a thing. If I want more info about something, I can use L and Z to press, or Z to press the statement and ask the witness a question. Grill them for info. Yep. Since the witness has to come up with an answer on the spot if they're lying, prompting for more info can make them slip up. Most importantly, though, if I find something that doesn't line up with the evidence, I can press R to bring up the court record. The court record is basically a list of all evidence, right? Yes. I can open it any time if I need to recheck the facts. After choosing the contradicting item, I'll push up C button to raise an objection and present my doubts to the court. I'm going to remember all of this. Oh, and I can only present not only can I present evidence, but profiles as well. Profiles? Court records contains a list of all people involved too. I can switch between evidence profiles with R. If I need to review what's been said recently, I can also press start to see the history of messages. Ah, I see, that makes sense. Dude, you didn't even let me see my client. Haha, sorry. Yeah, buddy. The defense is ready to cross-examine the witness. Bah! A waste of time. Wait, what? Yeah, Mr. Dragmeyer, I don't think you're fit to be an attorney. In fact, I'm starting to question if you ever were an attorney. This is insane. The reason for arrest. Okay. It is with regret that I agree with Dragmeyer. All evidence points towards this girl being the culprit. We determined that the murder definitely took place. The murder definitely took place inside the ranch house. I want to go to where she's unconscious and I want to press. Defendant was found unconscious. Malin just fainted? Correct. We couldn't get her to wake up for a long time. Eventually, we decided to administer a healing fairy so she could be questioned. I guess finding the blood was just that much of a shock, huh? Ha! Probably just pretending to try to make it look like she merely found the body. In any event, okay. Let's see. Okay. What do we want to do here? So the victim, no later than 8 a.m. What do I want to present here? Let's try this. What? Oh, shoot. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I screwed up there. Let's press this. What makes you think she's the culprit? She's just about to tell you. Keep quiet. It's not an objection. Okay, hold it. How'd you do that? Quite simple. There was no blood found anywhere else. Had the victim been attacked at some other location, we'd expect to see a trail of it leading to the scene. Couldn't the killer have just cleaned it up? Nope. There's no pavement. How'd you clean it? You'd be disturbing the soil, and we didn't find any of that. Plus, there wouldn't have been enough time. Likely true. Right, it sounds like the location of the crime is pretty firm. But I'm not giving up yet. Oh yeah? Well, let's press on this one. 3 people, you say? I guess that would have been Mr. Ingo. Let me stop you before you get too excited. If you had listened to the rest of what the detective said, you'd notice she said he had an alibi. Indeed. We're pretty certain that the ranch worker couldn't have been involved. Well, what is the alibi? You might remember that I brought up some outgoing milk shipments. Well, the worker, Mr. Ingo, was in charge of them. He left the ranch house first thing in the morning and was busy preparing the shipment after that. Is that so? Surely he could have gotten away from... Or wait, surely he could have gotten away from that for one real quick little murder? What? This wouldn't be a quick little murder, as you so crudely put it. He'd have to have taken steps to hide his involvement, too. There was definitely not enough time for that. Unfortunately, I agree. Preparing the shipment is a lot of work. You have to milk all the cows, clean all the bottles, pour the milk out into them, arrange them all into crates, and finally load it up onto the wagon. Usually I had to do it together with Father to finish before the courier arrived. The shipments were already ready when we arrived at the ranch. When we checked the boxes, they were all loaded with filled milk bottles. So this Ingo was able to do the work of 2 people all on his own? Isn't that a bit odd? Odd or not, he evidently did it. Clearly, he's a man dedicated to his job. Or perhaps the girl and her father are very inefficient. Okay. We'll press here. And how can you be so sure of this? Look at the autopsy report. Deep irregular wound made with a sharp metal object. The saw was the only sharp implement in the ranch house that could produce such a wound. And as you've already mentioned, we also looked closely at all other sharp things on the ranch. There would be a lot of sharp things, I would think, at a ranch. How long did that take? Considering this happened yesterday. That still doesn't necessarily mean the saw was the murder weapon. Maybe the real culprit hid the real one. Oh yeah? Prove it. Show us the real murder weapon. I definitely don't have any way to do that. So something bothers me about that saw. I think we can push on the saw. I just want to make sure of something. The state the saw is currently in is how you found it at the crime scene? That's correct. That's strange, considering how much the victim bled out and how deep this wound was. Why is there no blood on the murder weapon? What do you mean, is that all you have? Oh, okay. What's your explanation? Behold, the cloth that was found in the defendant's other hand. As you can plainly see, it is stained with blood. The defendant simply wiped the murder weapon in a futile attempt to hide her involvement. Objection. That wasn't part of the discovery package, you asshole. I declare a mistrial. Or what he said. Obviously, she was trying to hide the body before the royal visitation. Unfortunately for her, it just so happened that the delegation arrived quite a bit earlier than scheduled. In a panic, she quickly wiped the saw off to pretended to faint. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, as I was doing a final check around the ranch, I noticed that part of the fence around the horse paddock was damaged. Not entirely sure what happened, but sometimes one of the horses just gets a bit too rowdy, you know? Right. Anyway, I didn't want to bother Mr. Ingo about it, so I cut up a new rail by myself to patch it up. But then the saw slipped and I cut my hand open. Well, it wasn't that bad. It did bleed quite a lot though, so I used the cloth as a quick bandage for the wound. So they didn't even do a DNA test? We're gonna have to push on that evidence. Sheikah Forrest had to use a fairy on the defendant to get her out of her supposed unconsciousness. I do have to give her some credit. She's one cunning woman. She knew that would explain a sudden lack of any wound on her hand. What? Just the other day, I slammed my hand with the gavel, and one took the pain off immediately. Great. Glad to know they're used for such important things. Oh, look. Those definitely don't look like the red tunic anymore. Those are mitts. What are we gonna do about blood cloth here? I do believe this matter has been settled. I'm ready to call my... Okay. Oh, wait, I'm just done? Who are we gonna talk to next? Okay, so yeah, the prosecution and the Sheikah lady argue for a bit more. They're glaring daggers at each other. If this doesn't end soon, we're all in trouble. Order, order. I'm sure we'll treat the princess with the utmost respect. You may step down, detective. This case has already made me wary with all the pointless jabber. The time is ripe to deal the final blow. I call Her Highness Princess Zelda of Hyrule to the stand. Man, that's crazy that you can just call the monarch to the stand and the monarch doesn't have some kind of immunity to every crime they do. That's kind of insane. But yeah. Is something the matter? Why is everyone quiet all of a sudden? Your Highness. I believe we're all just a bit uncertain on how to proceed. It is quite the honor to have an esteemed guest like you in these halls. In the face of the law, the princess is no different from a peasant. Name and occupation, now! The prosecution will behave. I will not have any derogatory statements directed at the princess. Derogatory? I simply wish to not waste any more time. Oh, man. It is all right, Detective. I believe the prosecution does have a point. In the eyes of the law, we are all equal. I'm just like any other witness, except I'm not going to jail. There's no way I would ever end up in jail because I'm the princess. Just keep that in mind. You're admirable, Your Highness. You're the definition of a Nepo baby. But anyway, why don't you stop sucking up and ask the questions? Zelda, the current princess of Hyrule and heir to the throne. Marvelous, Your Highness. 10 points for Gryffindor. Why were you at Lon Lon Ranch? It's simple. I go there once a year. Oh, they give them the finest horses. Every year the royal family makes a visit. Wow, I didn't know your horses were used by the royal guard. Yup. We work hard every year to make sure they're in the best possible condition. Father loved to boast about it to the other ranch owners. Ha! Knowing talent, I'm sure he did. How unfortunate that the ranch may no longer meet the crown's high standard under new management. The royal family has a backup, I trust. Oh. Wow, they don't think Malin can raise a horse? Why not? I guess because she'll be in jail, maybe? Anyway. Explain what you saw. Very well, here I go. Cutscene. Nope. I was kind of hoping there'd be more cutscenes. I arrived at Lon Lon Ranch a little after 8 a.m. Okay. Which is supposedly... Wait, she got there when the murder happened? Okay. I remember being surprised at how quiet everything was. Okay. No one there to welcome us. They opened the door. The room was mostly empty. There was some kind of crystal bottle on the table that didn't make it into evidence. But in front of the table, there was a crazy scene of the defendant. The defendant hacked at the ranch owner's chest with the saw she was holding. Oh, okay. So you said it then. It was Princess Zelda who determined that. I was overcome with fear and I screamed. I will never forget what I saw that day. I heard that Talon and his daughter were incredibly kind. I cannot believe she would commit such a horrible violence. What? Oh my. You saw the very moment the victim was killed? Wow. There is no need to doubt the princess's statement. I call for the judge to make a ruling right away. No cross-examination. You haven't because there's no need to. She's the fucking princess. Didn't you say we should follow all the procedures and treat the princess just like any other witness? This is the defense's right. I believe the defense has a point. They do have a right to perform a cross-examination no matter who's testifying. I look quite forward to this part. I've only ever read about court proceedings in the Royal Library. That being said, I will not tolerate any reckless accusations towards the princess. Is that clear? Naturally, Your Honor. How am I going to cross-examine the princess? This isn't going to end well. Let's see. Because of the princess's status, it's possible that Dragmire didn't have an opportunity to discuss her testimony with her. That might mean that this testimony is a surprise even to him. This could be my chance. I believe the princess mentioned... Yeah, exactly. The glass bottle that wasn't in evidence. That would be this, I presume. Yeah, that's it. What is that? That's a bottle of perfume that father intended to give Her Highness when she arrived. He quickly rode out of town to get it at the last moment. We didn't know the princess was coming instead of the king until only about 2 hours before the visitation. So he went out at like 6 a.m. to buy that perfume, came back, and Malin and Talon also filled... I can't tell if this is intentionally flawed and Malin definitely killed him, or this is just oversight. Because I tried to press on the coroner's report before, but it didn't let me. Objection. It's good to have the full picture of the crime scene. The defense requests the bottle be accepted into evidence. Whatever. You can add it to evidence if it'll make you happy. No skin on off my teeth. In that case, the court accepts the bottle into evidence. Now then, defense, begin your cross-examination. The scene behind the door. Is that really what time you got there? Because, like, that's suspicious. If these guards were with Her Highness, why were they not called as witnesses? We did question the guards, naturally. Apparently, they didn't get to see anything relevant. I was the only one to enter the crime scene. After seeing what was inside, I stood guard. What? And insisted no one be allowed inside until the Sheikah force arrived. I have read that preserving the scene is vital. Quite correct. What? That also seems weird. Yeah, have you ever done this before? No, this is my first one. Up until last year, my father was always the one to visit Lon Lon Ranch. However, he decided I had to start preparing for all the royal duties that await me, so I was gonna do it. You will doubtlessly perform admirably as a ruler when the time comes. Okay, so what happened when you got to the ranch house? How could you sense something was wrong? And what then? Stop interrupting her. Oh, shit. Okay, so I actually can do wrong things there. Yeah, I gotta ask her about that because, hold it. You were there at the exact time of the murder, Your Highness? That is correct. That's impossible. You're lying. The defendant... Oh, yeah. Defendant, shut up. The ranch owner was in front of a little table that is directly across from the entrance door. The defendant was right in front of him and quickly fainted after her attack. The large pool of blood started forming where the victim was. I had a rather good view of the whole scene. It is as unfortunate as it is fortunate that you could see the whole thing in such detail. Now, please continue. Are you sure there wasn't anyone else at the ranch, Your Highness? So wait, they let... Yeah, so that dude was there and he started making a scene when Sheikah people came to inspect the thing, but they let the dude in there, but they didn't let the guards in there to preserve the crime scene? I can't... I'm gonna press her on that again. Oh, it's just gonna tell me the same thing? Okay. Let's bring up some, Okay. I don't understand what happens here. I want to ask about this. Wait. It's, this. Wait, what? Well, no, but like... The reason I brought up the bloody napkin was because earlier we said that... Okay, well... Let's try this. Yeah, this is Roy. I don't like that this... See, I still feel like the timeline doesn't line up. Yeah, it's completely wrong. Father was already dead when I found him and got there. Yeah. I know she's not telling the truth. Push you on this, I guess? He didn't look away in panic. The princess was very brave. There's no need to doubt what she saw. If only we had arrived earlier. Wait. Uh, I I'm not really. I don't- so she know. Okay, so let's push her on the bottle. A clear contradiction in testimony. Yeah, no. Guess I'm on the wrong track again. Let's push the last one. Evidence and testimony be damned, just because we feel the defendant is innocent. Yeah. Wait, what? Did I just win somehow? Nope. Yeah, I don't believe her, but like, I don't seem to understand how to make. Yeah, I know. I haven't figured out what this scenario wants yet. Yeah. She was. My father was already dead when I found him, and the princess got there after me. She can't be telling the truth. But I can't present. No, that's not what I meant to do. Yeah, okay. Yeah, come on, go back. Get back, get back. Um... Yeah, I've only got one heart left, and I don't really know. Let's present Malin. Okay, I can never tell. It's this. So do I just lose now? Okay. Okay. Um, I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm good on that game. They do have a walkthrough. I'll look at it just to see how much further we can get here. Oh my god, we didn't get far at all. Okay, so this is why it's so hard. I had to present the autopsy report on statement 1 or 5. So I guess I wasn't understanding how to, do that. Because yeah, I'm like, I'm nowhere near done of that. But I'm not going to keep playing it. It was fun, but it's a lot to read out loud. I don't tend to read out loud a lot. Oh, but this was fun. One thing I want to try to start doing a bit more. I'm going to turn on the music here. 1 second. We will. I think my webcam's doing that thing where it resizes me again. So that's kind of cool. We'll go like this. One thing I want to start doing more on this channel is actually, I would have been better off just to go here. There we go. One thing I want to start doing more of is, well, two things, and this actually covers both of them. I was only going to say one, but there is kind of two things I want to do. And this one game covers off both. The first one is that I want to start playing games until I lose and then just dropping them and not being set on beating the game. Just like, here's a fun game. I tried it. I liked it. It's over. So that's one thing we're doing here. And the other one is that I want to play a lot of ROM hacks. I've been getting into ROM hacks a lot more. Or seeing a lot of cool ones that I want to play at least. The next one I think I'm going to do is going to be a replay of one that I've played before called Mario's Mystery Meat. Unless I find something else really cool. But I think that's going to be the next one I play. It'll be a replay, but Mario's Mystery Meat is probably the next one I'm going to do. But this was fun. This was a pretty cool ROM hack. It was fun to play once. I'm sure there was a lot of love that went into making it. I guess I can link the ROM hack in chat here too. Hold on. Let me go back here. If you already have a ROM, you can patch that ROM on newerteam.com/HOL for Hero of Law. Newer Team has some other really cool ROM hacks out there for like the new Super Mario Bros. Called the Newer Super Mario Bros. And like the Newer Mario World 3D and stuff like that. Those look pretty cool too. They're basically, from what I understand or what I've seen, just different and more levels for the Mario Bros. Games. So we might end up playing some of those at some point too. But yeah, just a nice short stream to try out Hero of Law. That's all I got for today. It was a lot of reading. Next time I'll try to pick one that's less of a visual novel with no voice acting. I was hoping it was gonna like play out the events that they were talking about. So like I knew there wouldn't be voice acting, but I thought that there would be more like cutscenes in the game. But yeah, I will see you guys next time.